Hey, welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna be doing Niyemah from Jubilee showing up to rematch Charlie Kirk again. Listen, I've already seen this video, but somebody told me, why don't you just go back and watch it again? You know, you need to go back and watch it again because you were just too biased last time. Okay, well, let me go back and watch it again. This time I actually took footnotes and did a little bit of studying on everything each person was talking about. So I'm gonna see what it is. So yeah, you know what to do. Subscribe, turn on post notifications. Got my footnotes right here. Actually, let me do this. Let me be fair. I'm gonna keep the footnotes up, but I'm definitely gonna like write down everything that I got. I'm gonna keep the footnotes and all this, whatever. You know, let's just get into it. Like I'm gonna show you. Let's get into it. Yeah, let's go.
60 years ago, Dr. Linus Pauling.
Sorry, man, I gotta skip you, man.
You did do that. I mean, you didn't, but Trump did, yes!
The collective we, yeah.
Yes, the collective we. So, speaking of Trump, I do want to talk a little bit about his policy on DEI, as you know, in his first weeks in office.
Okay.
He signed the executive order declaring that DEI is both unlawful and a threat to national unity. And I just kind of want to ask you to elaborate on why DEI is unlawful.
I'll tell you something, right? And this is just for our community. Black people specifically. Sorry about that, y'all. Gotta take a little bite or something, but no more. I know y'all be bitching about me eating, so let me be honest. So, the fact that they started removing DEI, more black women have been fired. I think it was like 300,000 black women have been fired from their jobs off of them removing DEI. That's the most fucked up shit I've ever heard if you support the black community. Just put it out there. It's pretty crazy. It's up to 300,000. It's high. It's rising. Like they're first ones being let go because the DEI programs are being removed. So there's no protection for their jobs. It's crazy. Even though they're more qualified, and what we're finding in a lot of the firings is that they're still more qualified. They're just downsizing as much as they can. It's crazy.
Well, based on the Civil Rights Act, which I have disagreements with, but based on the Civil Rights Act, which is the law of the land, it says you shall...
He has disagreements with the Civil Rights Act. I think if he himself went back and studied this shit, he would have a lot to go back on too. I think so, in my opinion.
Shall not discriminate based on color, race, creed, or origin of nationality.
Yes.
And DEI definitionally does those things.
How does it definitionally do those things?
So, for example, if you say you are going to hire a certain amount of people or have scholarships only for a certain people, you are then prejudicing against another group.
Which group are you prejudicing against?
White people, Asians as well. I mean, white people are an easy one off the top of your head. So, for example, in the Harvard admissions case, I said this earlier, the average test score for a black individual was around 1,300 SAT, about 3.2 GPA. For a white or Asian, it would be about a 3.9 to 4 GPA and about nearly a perfect SAT. So you are disenfranchising and stereotyping and prejudicing against whites or Asians in favor of blacks.
You're not prejudicing against whites or Asians, though, because DEI is not on a race basis. DEI stands for diversity, equity, and inclusion of all people. Affirmative action is what is intended to address racial inequality. But DEI isn't on the basis of race.
Facts.
Well, so DEI is a project of the affirmative action movement, so one comes before the other. He signed an executive order against both, for the record, so I wasn't sure which one you were talking about.
I'm talking about DEI.
So DEI, it depends what we mean in practice. So I can give you one example. There are black-only graduation ceremonies at certain schools, or black-only dormitories.
But those are kind of student-led. I mean, I'm part of a black-only
let's play this out.
And it's run by students. It's not
fair enough.
The school.
Let's play it out. So if there is a black-only, let's say...
There is none. I researched this. Trust me, there is none. He is nothing but a talking ass at this point right now. There is none. No disrespect to him. I love Charlie Kirk, but you're genuinely about to lie to the audience. They are only student-ran. And they are not allowed in any way, shape, or form because of the Civil Rights Act to have all black-only dormitories. He's about to make something up right here.
let's pretend, which it's not, that building is black only.
Okay.
If I said that,
Oh.
if
Let's
that building
pretend.
was
I'm
white,
like, the campus?
no, I said, let's
okay.
pretend it's
Yes,
not.
hypothetically, yes.
Hypothetically, if that building was white only,
Let's
you would
pretend
agree that's a
Marshall Madness
violation of
never
the Civil
been-
Rights Act.
Yes, but there
Hold
are
on,
no buildings on campus that are black only and white only.
Well,
and by the way,
but there are on other campuses.
no,
though.
but in those dormitories that are like culturally specific, you don't have to be that culture to live there. They're not going to not allow you to be black, to live in a black dormitory.
You would
no,
be
Ujima at
surprised.
Stanford. White people do live at Ujima. That's not.
I don't know about that specific example, but if it says black only dormitory.
But it doesn't say black only.
But okay, how about this? How about if we had? Well, it does.
It doesn't. Where? Where does
just
it
to
say
be-
that?
Just to be clear, well, in the title. But let's
No,
pretend
but
it says
where?
black.
Like what school? Where does it say black only building?
Eastern Washington University, Portland State University, just off the top of my head, San Jose State University.
They say black only dormitory? And if a white person were to apply to live
I looked
there?
into every school that he just said. All of them. None of them have anywhere in any curriculum, anywhere where it says black only dormitories and they are allowed. It is not. There are the only black only areas, and they're not even black only. Don't say that. But black people mostly are there where mostly black people will be. White people can definitely come live in, and most definitely do. They date and mingle with people amongst in the school. So, yeah. He's
But
not
it's
just
a
lying.
black affinity
They would
cultural
not.
space of which only black individuals are accepted and governed for black individuals. But can we have white affinity
chill out
cultural
on this.
spaces?
You can have a white affinity cultural space.
Absolutely.
The activity is, the issue is
See, I
that you're
think
saying...
You're having a white affinity cultural space right now. Mostly white people are going to show up to your functions. Mostly white people are only going to show up. So this is technically a white affinity space. Technically.
black
Yes, the Civil Rights
only.
Act.
It's not black only. It's a black affinity cultural space. But anyone is invited if they would like to participate.
I would, first of all,
You cannot legislatively
I
not
agree.
allow someone of any race to participate in
no,
something. That doesn't exist.
We agree. That's the spirit of the diversity, equity, inclusion order, is that DEI in practice, again, we have to go through example after example, is discrimination, prejudice,
Well,
and
let's talk
segregation.
about DEI in practice. Let's
Okay.
talk about DEI programs in the workforce. Because DEI programs in the workforce happen to benefit veterans.
Yep.
They benefit people with disabilities.
Yep.
They benefit people at an economic desperate.
Older people.
They benefit lots of people that is not just on the basis of race. And to me, it feels like you're conflating DEI with pro-blackness or black only,
So
which is
let's-
not the definition of DEI.
So
And that's where I'm telling you, that's where they're fucking hiding it at. They're hiding it right there. Diversity, equity, inclusion programs make it to where they can't just decide whoever the fuck they want to hire. They can't fire older people. They can't fire people with disabilities, women, they can't be on a discriminatory practice. They have to get people based on the best that they can find, right? And within that being said, they're hiding it through by saying DEI are pro-black things. That's why most of MAGA's like, get rid of that shit. But what MAGA doesn't realize is some of their people on their end, like veterans, get in that way. A lot of veterans have came in through DEI initiative programs. All that shut down now though, because Trump is rolling it out. But we'll keep going.
let's take a high-profile DEI example. Is that cool? Just maybe one we can play around with.
Okay.
Which I got me in a lot of viral trouble, which I don't care. Which is pilots.
I got in a lot of viral trouble too. I
Hey.
was debating this guy,
I
you
know.
know.
And you kept interrupting you.
He did!
I know, right? Which is this, which is that, let's say DEI. A project of DEI at United Airlines was that we want to get 40% of our pilots to be black or women of color, or women or people of color.
40%.
50, I'm sorry, to get up to 50. It was at like 6%. So therefore, they want to make a push towards that, and it was currently at 6%. We look at that and we say, wow, you're going to have to lower standards to get to that goal.
Why would you have to lower standards?
Well, because
Are you saying that black people are inherently
I'm saying the opposite. I'm saying that black people are only 13% of the population, so you want 13% of the population.
Women are not 13% of the population. Women are 50% of the population.
Yeah, but women do not make up a majority of people that want to become pilots. In fact, the vast majority of women don't want to be pilots.
Maybe they would want to become pilots if the barriers for entry
Well,
weren't...
see, that now we're going down a different but equally fun direction, which is male-female differences. Men much more likely want to be involved in heavy machinery, mechanics, they want to be pilots, they want to be tank operators, they want to be police officers, whereas women much more likely want to be, I'll get to you, Mason, don't worry, and I remember your name.
Yes, if Mason goes, they won't let him go.
I'll let Mason go. I'll let Mason go. But just, Mason, have some patience. We did this last time, okay? But do you understand, at least from our perspective, because it's no good for us to go back and forth again, maybe, from our perspective, that we worry that the pursuit of diversity can mean the compromising of excellence.
Charlie Kirk, this country is diverse. You can't just say the pursuit of diversity is compromising excellence. Diversity literally just means difference.
Yes.
This country is 13% black, it's 14% immigrant, it's 1/5 of every person in this country is Hispanic, it's 7% homosexual, and 50% of the country disagrees with you.
Okay,
diversity is America. You cannot say
all of that is
that
true.
You
Hold on.
are
She's
America
killing it.
first
She's
if
killing it.
you do not care about half of America.
Facts.
I care about them so much, in fact.
You care about them so much that you
Hold
don't
on.
want to give them
I didn't interrupt you.
access
I care
to
about
equal rights.
Facts.
Hold on a second. No. I care about them.
It's equal rights. It's
Niyemah,
equal
let me
access.
finish. Let me finish. Now who's interrupting who? I care about them so much. I want the only thing that they're...
You know why she's smiling too? Because she knows years later, when it is just a bunch of dumbasses watching this, and there's a bunch of people who really actually studied the times, everything she was saying was 1000% right. And she knows it. That's why she knows he's stuttering, he's stopping, he's freezing. It's not because she's interrupting him. It's because she's making valid points about who you really stand for. She's exposing it. This is beautiful. What part did I miss in this? She won this debate. Y'all just some dick riders. That's what it is. Y'all are dick riders. Y'all are not seeing what's happening right here in this moment. And y'all not even doing the research to figure out what this dude is talking about. Some of the stuff he's saying literally right now are lies. He's literally saying things to get your attention. That's all, man. But she's killing it. That's why she's smiling. I know.
They're ever judged on is to be their character or their competency, not their skin color.
Okay, so you want it to be a meritocracy. You
Yes.
want it to be so let's talk about a meritocracy.
Let's talk about
Okay.
it.
What experience does Kash Patel have to run the FBI?
He has amazing experience.
No,
In
he
fact,
doesn't. He wanted to start a UFC
He
fighting
has
program at the
amazing experience. I got
FBI.
5 words in it. He was the most important thing. He was a public defender.
That's not what that's not
Hold
the
on.
job of the
He
FBI.
was
He has
both a-
no experience in
Hold
the
on.
FBI.
He was a public defender and he was a special prosecutor.
Was he ever a member of the FBI?
No, but
He doesn't have the merit attachment.
Hold on a
All right,
second.
let's do another example.
But
What
I'm
experience
not
does
done.
Linda McMahon?
I'm not
What
done.
experience does Linda McMahon have to run?
She ran the
Department of
Small
Education?
Business Administration in the first term, which is a big, big organization. She was the head of the SBA.
When she was the CEO of
No, hold on. I'm not going to
WWE,
talk about that. She ran the SBA. By
one
the
of
way,
her employees was engaging in pedophilic behavior with their
Well,
ring boys
okay,
under her watch.
I'm not going to defend
and now
that.
she
but
is somehow qualified to be responsible
she
for
was
all
a-
of
one
America's
second.
children.
You would have previously a cabinet secretary and then became a different cabinet secretary. That's like a one-to-one.
Yeah, and then before that, she was enabling a pedophile.
So what you're first of all, I
I love
don't know
her,
what that
man.
means. If that's true. That's wrong.
She is a hell of a debater, man. Come on, man. She's got it in her.
Very much
However-
true. How do you not know about that, Charlie?
I don't
it's
know
like
about every-
very much
Okay. Again,
public information. It's really important to know
Great.
that the head of the Department of Education is currently in a lawsuit.
But let me finish the point, which is that
With a
the
pedophile.
WWE can be easily made fun of. That's a serious business, though. It's a multi-billion-dollar business.
It is that engaged in pedophilic activity.
Of which I denounce. I don't support that. However, she was head of the SBA, and now she's head of the Department of Education. Tell me another unqualified person.
Another unqualified
Is
person.
Marco Rubio
Pete
unqualified?
Hegseth.
Okay.
No, actually, I
hold
think
on.
Marco is slightly more
Let's talk about Hegseth. He's the most qualified because he actually accepted enemy fire and lost loved ones and friends of his own.
That doesn't make you.
Hold on.
Dude,
To
that doesn't give you.
run the U.S. military, to be a warrior, not just an academic general, that's very important.
Look, dude, I respect veterans. My boyfriend's a veteran. I love veterans. That being said, not every person who is a veteran is qualified to run the Department of Defense.
Right.
I think he's also shown the last couple of weeks he's doing a pretty phenomenal job. The prior head of the DOD, Lloyd Austin, could barely climb up a flight of stairs. Pete Hegseth is
This didn't age well. If y'all research it, this did not age well at all. At all. Go Go do your research on why this didn't age
At
well.
5 a.m. doing PT with the troops, running miles, and then doing an entire day at the Pentagon. And you might say that doesn't matter. I actually think physical fitness and being a good example to our troops is very important when you're the head of the Department of Defense.
Okay, but being the head of the Department of Defense is not about doing push-ups.
Hold on, but first of all, it's actually just refreshing versus Mark Milley and Lloyd Austin. But secondly, I will say the criteria is that he's a warrior's warrior. He's someone that was in the front lines and actually received medals and knows what it's like to lose loved ones. The other people that were qualified, Niyemah, were people that got us in endless wars, people that never saw combat. I think it's finally time that we have someone in combat that runs the Secretary of Defense. I think that's immensely qualified.
Okay, sure. So we'll take Pete Hegseth for Department of Defense.
Yes, he's
we'll
doing a
take
great job.
someone who enabled pedophilia for the Department of Education.
That's an unfair
We'll take Cash Patel,
categorization.
who's never worked in the FBI.
He was a prosecutor. So FBI's a-
Dude, do you remember what he said when he first got...
All white people do.
Go back to Cash Patel for a
He
second.
said, yeah. I was like, this is sick.
Okay,
that
can
is
we go back to
incredible
Cash
thing
Patel,
say.
though?
That is like
Can we go-
insanely inappropriate.
Can we go back to Cash Patel? So, he was himself a prosecutor that tried cases. That's a law enforcement mechanism. I think they're asking for something else.
right.
Niyemah, great to see you again. Thank you.
Yeah, MAGA. Get her out of here because you know she's dropping bars. She is dropping bars right now. She is dropping bars. I don't see what I needed to research. I don't see what I needed to do again. She did good. And for those of you who are gonna say something about eating, kiss my ass. I'm hungry. When I'm gonna eat, I'm gonna eat. Fuck y'all. You can dismiss yourself from the page already. I don't care if you stay or not. I care about everybody who does stay and want to be part of the audience. And let's go. You know what I'm saying? Let's rock out together. Like let's rock out, brothers and sisters. But if you don't, fuck you. I'm just playing. All right, anyways, I'm out. I'm not playing actually. Well.